on there right now?
Well, they are in the process of doing this changeover of the inner perimeter. The CHP had taken over the pursuit on the freeway here a little bit before it ended, and they were the lead agency, although L.A.P.D. had started the pursuit. And now they're, of course, in L.A.P.D. territory here, just north of Universal City here in this area, or just north of Universal Studios here in Universal City. And they, so the CHP is in the process of giving the command back over, the inner perimeter back over to the L.A.P.D. That's a process that's taking a little bit of time because they're, again, not in a big rush. The L.A.P.D. has been talking about getting all of their people together that they need to do a change of command here, if you will, and take over this this inner perimeter. When they do that, then the CHP will back out, and the L.A.P.D. will once again be the lead agency here dealing with this situation. So not quite sure when that's going to happen and just how it's going to happen. I would think pretty soon now, because they talked about that maybe a half an hour ago, maybe 45 minutes ago, that that's what they were going to do. So that's where we stand right now, getting ready for that change of command here on the inner perimeter. And then, of course, L.A.P.D. also has the outer perimeter as well, kind of a dual perimeter thing here, moving people back all the way around to give a safety zone, and then the officers up close here ready to deal with the suspect when that time comes.
Well, we want to report that we are getting calls into our newsroom from viewers. Several people have called in to say that they believe that they can identify the person that you see on the left side of your screen. They're saying it's DJ Khaled. He's out of Miami, a DJ out of Miami. We are told he's part of a hip-hop group called Terror Squad. I cannot say with absolute certainty that that's who this person is. These are the calls that are coming into the newsroom. We're reporting the information as we get it. But we want to underscore that those are tinted windows. The person has on sunglasses, and these are all contributing factors as to whether you can truly identify somebody. So I tell you that information with caution. At the same time, Gary Lineberry, who's in Sky 9, is holding the shop for us. I don't know, Glenn Walker, are you still there? Can you hear us?
I don't know if, can you hear me, Laura?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Can you bring us anything new?
We're switching cameras out, so we're not going to be able to bring a picture from the ground for a couple of seconds here. Fortunately, police have got a little more control of this situation. The the regular folks and the onlookers that were here, they've now moved them out of this area, so it's just strictly media behind the crime scene tape. Again, this is at the corner of Lancashire and Cahuenga, right next to this Toyota dealership in North Hollywood. And I just want to tell you, we've now had some officers that have moved over to the sidewalk up from us to get a better angle looking inside of that Bentley. So they are repositioning themselves as they continue to implore this young man, whoever he is, to please leave the Bentley in a peaceful manner, which he has not done. We've been here almost an hour now, I believe, and the situation remains a tense standoff. But at least on our side of the crime scene tape, at least we now have a more controlled situation. Most of the onlookers have been moved back, and matter of fact, right now, police officers are asking everybody to move back, media included, a couple more feet. I think we'll be okay where we are. But again, just a tense situation, and nothing seems to change. That Bentley just continues to sit there, and he's not going anywhere.
Gary Lineberry reported just moments ago that the L.A.P.D. will be taking over the chain of command, basically, and they'll be the primary agency out there in charge. Are you seeing that from where you are?
I think we have a ground shot now, and you can actually see that where the officers are changing from the Highway Patrol to the L.A.P.D. taking over this complete situation. Excuse me, just move down? Okay, officers asked us to move down just a couple of feet, but we will be able to maintain our shot. Across here, again, this part of Lancashire, we're actually standing on a bridge over the L.A. River, and there was, over here by the bar, there were some people, and officers were telling them to move back, and Laura, I'm going to have to throw it back to you because we're getting orders to move back a couple of feet here.
I know you've got business to attend to. Thank you very much. We're going to go back up to Gary Lineberry and Sky 9, and obviously you're seeing that authorities are trying to keep people secure there at the scene. What can you tell us, Gary?
Well, I think they have, they originally set up a a distance for people to move away from this thing. And I think now, once they've got a little bit better control here, and as we said, the L.A.P.D is taking over, and they might want people a little bit further away. They've asked Glenn and his crew to move back a little bit further, so they're just opening up a greater safety zone around this incident. Again, they have to prepare for the worst and hope for the best, and that's what they're doing right now. They are giving themselves a safe zone around there. You see when officers are moving around in that dealership, they're moving behind cars, giving themselves safe cover, because they do believe that this man has a weapon and he might use it, and so they have to assume that he has one and that he will use it, and that's the way to be safe. So they are doing that up to the north. They've moved people back even further. All the spectators and things, they brought in more officers here so they can move through the area and get that area cleared out, so that if any gunfire takes place here, that people will be safe. And that's pretty much what's happening. You see these officers are still taking cover behind their cars and behind their doors, and it's just a standoff, and unfortunately it could take a long time. We know these things have taken hours in the past, and you know, there's just no way to tell when this guy is going to give up. We know that ultimately he will be in custody one way or another, and he knows that as well. So it's who knows what his frame of mind is, who knows if he's under the influence of something. There's just a lot of questions that are unanswered here, and they will probably remain unanswered until they get this guy in custody. So I'm sure the commanders down there are having all kinds of conferences and dealing with decision-making processes that they want to make sure that this thing is resolved peacefully without injury to officers or to the suspect. They would prefer just to take him in, and that's another thing where if they can get the crisis intervention people in here to talk to him, or get sometimes family members to talk to him and explain things to him, that perhaps they can bring him down and get him to give up peacefully. So we haven't seen any movement there. It's difficult. Those windows are very darkly tinted, and it's difficult to see through there. And so we just don't see much of movement in there. We don't know what's going on in there. All we can do is wait like everyone else does.
All right, Gary Lineberry and Sky 9, thank you very much for that report. We are getting many calls into KCAL 9 right now, people who are saying that they do definitely believe that that is DJ Khaled, a DJ out of Miami. We are told he's part of a hip-hop group called the Terror Squad, one DJ Khaled. We are going to cut away now. We want to remind all of our viewers that you can continue to watch this story on CBS2 and KCAL9.com. But this is a slow-speed pursuit which came to a halt some time ago. It began at about 8 o'clock tonight. This Bentley going 40 miles per hour through many parts of Southern California and basically going in a loop. The person at the wheel of that vehicle said to be armed and dangerous, perhaps a threat to himself and others, and that is why you see so many black and whites there at the scene. As news spread that perhaps the person at the wheel of that vehicle was famous, some type of celebrity, it really ignited interest, and so therefore you saw a great number of media there, paparazzi, and a frenzy at the scene. And then that inspired other people to show up who just were curious about what was going on there. So it is an LA moment that at midnight, after midnight, folks would actually go out to a public street and try to witness what's going on and speculate as to what was going on, and even try to get shots on their telephones and their cell phones rather, and somehow chronicle what was occurring there. So this is the information we have right now. Nobody's been hurt. It's at a standstill. CHP on the ground, L.A.P.D up in the air, and L.A.P.D being called in as the primary agency. You can see K9 there at the scene.